Hey there, it's Sam Piercy, and we are on day 17 or step 17 of 30 for Faith for Finances at faithforfinances.com, or access the program at MoneyMinding.com in the online course area. That is my ministry. And today we're looking at something borrowed, and specifically we're looking at the whole concept of debt. And I guess the objective would be to explore how you feel about it. Is it something that you absolutely, at all costs, never, ever, ever want anything to do with? Is it something that just is always your fallback? Are there some things that are okay to use debt for and other things that are not okay to use debt for? Just what is it that you really think about this whole concept of debt? And then, of course, the beginning of this journey, at the beginning of the workbook, you'll read more about our whole system. See, some people wear no debt like a badge of honor. But the reality is that we all live in a world system that is credit based. That means all of us right now are in debt to that system. The money that we have, that we earn, it gets digitally deposited into a bank account, and then we look at it and we access it digitally. There's very little tangible value in any of our finances anymore. Even paper money, it's not like it's a representation for something that is seriously backed by a physical, tangible asset. In fact, it's backed by loans and the power of taxation and interest. It's just representative of debt. When we have cash, it just really means that we are responsible for some of that debt. The bank's going to give us back. It's all made up. And what do we trust? Do we trust the money? Do we trust the numbers that we see on the computer screen? Do we trust what the Word of God says? And what would we do if we really needed money? Let's say a house. Most people assume right now that if you're going to buy a house, you're going to have a mortgage. It didn't always used to be that way, and it doesn't have to be that way. Or what about a car? Do we need a credit card? Well, the reality is that in this world that we live in, it is a thing that opens and closes doors. Our credit score is used to give a number. That number will determine who gets a job or who doesn't get a job. And it's not far-fetched to see what's happening in other countries around the world, where the credit scoring system has now been expanded to social scoring, and it gives a rank, kind of like the class system, I suppose. But if you don't have a good credit score, or you just have decided that you don't care about it and you think you're doing what makes sense in your mind for managing credit, then I would say you need to actually wake up a little bit, because what worked a week ago, what worked a year ago, what worked 10 years ago in the world of credit is not necessarily going to work next week or the week after that. And sometimes we get all bent out of shape because the algorithms for our search engines and Facebook and all of these different things, they change all the time. But the reality is that the algorithm to determine the credit score and how the credit scoring system is being used also changes all the time. And that is a far bigger deal as it relates to money. And so this week we're exploring credit and whole thoughts and mindsets about credit and how you would use it or whether you would not use it. And specifically, what does God say about some of this stuff? And of course, he has a lot to say about it. So there's only a little bit in the exercises. And I encourage you to explore that in much greater detail, because we tend to think, oh no man, anything except love. But God also said, lend to many nations. Oh no man, anything. And so it was, and there's lots of examples even in the book of Nehemiah and all kinds of examples about what to do with debt and getting rid of debt, and the year of the Lord's favor, and where all debts were wiped out. So God knew about this stuff. We can learn from his word, but we also need to be wise on the world that we live in. So debt, credit, good, bad, what do you know about it? What don't you know about it? Dive in at faithforfinances.com. God bless.